Okie dokie. Because I had to sit in silence for a second, but we're good to go. Oh my god, is it really 4 o'clock already? It pretty much is. Whew. I've got the outer door open again. It is 77 outside. Not quite as hot as yesterday, but pretty darn close. What else were we doing? We got, like, excuse me, the gutstone and stuff. I need to remake a couple of arrows. I think I've got some broken ones. Yeah, I've got 2 broken ones. I'm seeing a way to the pool? Ooh. Oh, I know where I'm supposed to go. Just kidding.
Take off, that's Dad's beer money.
Hey, Shanzo, thanks for that 6-month resub. Appreciate it very much. How you doing? I keep feeling like I'm certain that I've missed something in there. Alright, up the stairs. I think I've harvested everything that I killed in these walls. Oh, you think so, Jamie? Well, I'll tell you what, it's never too late to find out. Even if that's, you know, even if you're told no, don't worry about it, then, you know, that's... I can look inside, but I can't go in from here. And I hope that if you do, you don't end up having to deal with the, kind of stuff that we in the US are having to deal with now. At least those of us who are prescribed stimulants, because it's really sticky at the moment. Especially with, like, being in uni and stuff, like, I'm not sure how much longer you're gonna be in school, but hell yeah, definitely check it out before you're all done. Oh, hypersensitivity, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's... I guess it can be a thing on its own, and it's definitely a part of autism as well, but I know that with ADHD that can be part of it too. It's funny, I was thinking about Zambi and her, like, textures thing, because someone in my mobile game was talking about how, like, she's really sensitive to certain flavors. And that it was because of her ADHD. I was like, I don't think that mine does that to me, but that's kind of fascinating. At least 10 days, yeah. It's been a good, maybe 15, 20 days even that we've been in here. I have no idea what I took with me. I guess I've got a couple of things. But yeah, if you're, if part of your, like, mental health treatment that works for you is stimulants or any Schedule 2 drug, you probably know all about the frustrations there have been recently. Well, mainly with, like, telehealth. So here's the short ish version of the story. It has pretty much always been that doctors cannot prescribe Schedule II medications, so controlled substances, without seeing you physically in person with a certain amount of frequency. It's like once every 3 months or something, and it can depend on the state, I think. But that's always been the case, that you had to see someone in person to get and keep a controlled substance prescription. Well, when COVID happened, the federal government decided to suspend the Ryan Hate Act as an emergency, so that people could still see their doctors and get their medications via telehealth without, I'm gonna go back down here again. I really do think this is gonna be the way to go. So that they could do that with, you know, offices closed and limiting exposure and stuff. Well, two things that happened as a result of that. It means that now that it is either going to be, it's going to be back in effect soon. I don't know if it's that they need to extend it still or what. They may or may not extend it. They might. I have a feeling they probably will. But either way, people are seeing a date of when it's supposed to be over and when controlled substance prescriptions via telehealth won't be allowed anymore. On top of that, if you've been on social media apps like TikTok recently, you've probably seen a very sharp increase of ads for ADHD treatment, mental health treatment over telehealth, and that kind of thing. And I guess one or two of those companies that pushed advertising on TikTok really, really hard is actually under investigation for doing so. That they were trying to overprescribe controlled substances to young people. Basically trying to profit off of the Ryan Hate Act being temporarily lifted. And that it was resulting in a lot of overdiagnosis and overprescription of addictive substances. And it's the, if that's truly what they were doing, we don't know because of the investigation hasn't concluded yet, but if that's indeed what they were doing and what their objective was, it's completely disgusting and could have resulted in a lot of people going on medications that they don't need, that they either now have a dependence on or aren't even using at all and are just selling or using recreationally. But the problem is that, like, at least anecdotally, this increase, I have seen this increase in prescribing has been good for a lot of people that were never even evaluated or diagnosed when they were young, because we just didn't understand how subtle some of the symptoms could be or how good many of us were at masking them. And so there are a lot of people who went undiagnosed through most of their lives that now have the care that they need. So it's such a double-edged sword that it's like there could be people who are being diagnosed and prescribed. Like, that's the risk of all of this increased access to those that couldn't have it before. It's like bittersweet, but because they are under investigation and because Ryan Haight Act may be coming back soon, a lot of telehealth providers are no longer prescribing controlled substances at all, or will stop soon. So there's a lot of people scrambling to find a new provider. For me, it's the third time. Second time, but I'll be looking for my third provider because the one I have now isn't going to be able to manage my prescriptions anymore. And they've been really helpful. Like, even talking to the people that I work with, she's just like, this has helped so many people. This availability has helped so many people. I didn't mean to drop that one. And now it feels so unfair that they're cracking down on it. Because there's this weird, like, nobody... The world at large can't seem to agree whether ADHD is overdiagnosed or underdiagnosed. You have a lot of people on both sides that believe very strongly one of those ways, with just, like, nothing in between. It's either people that believe it frankly doesn't even exist, and that it's just an excuse for lazy behavior. Or, I don't know, I guess choosing not to, you know, remember details or listen to people talk in potentially life or death situations. Whatever. People choosing that for whatever reason. They think that they do. Using it as an excuse. Or, you know, people that think it absolutely does not exist at all and is an excuse to medicate yourself and medicate your children. Or people that think every person on the planet has ADHD and that, like, 75% of us do and that we all need to be medicated. It's like, what? Why isn't there somewhere in the middle? Is there a C? Is there an answer C? I don't like A and B so much. Because I've definitely met both people. I've met people that are like, that's not real. It's made up. It's an excuse to sell drugs. It's, you know, a big pharma scheme. And I've also met the people that are like, yeah, I have ADHD, OCD, BPD, DID, ABCDEFG, LGBTQIT, ITT Technical Institute. Those are just a fraction of my diagnoses. Please cradle me like a baby. You know, please excuse every single decision I make or action that I take, because of my alphabet soup. That was like your nose. I'm not entirely sure how you're not dead. Yeah, depression is a hard one to argue against. That's a hard one to, like, make up. I mean, I guess some of the symptoms can be a little fudgeable, you know? It's like, oh, I'm depressed, so I don't want to take a shower today. Like, okay, well, do you not want to take a shower because you're depressed? Or would you just rather lay around in bed all day, you know? But... yeah, she's a special case. I have a feeling that his depression is real when it's convenient to her. That particular individual.